Welcome to John's Jeep Garage. This video is specifically about removing a rear axle on a Jeep Wrangler JK. The model we're using is a 2016 Jeep Wrangler JK with it's a 4-door, 3.6 liter rear Dana 44 axle. There's another video we have on our channel about welding a truss on an axle, and in that video we talked about giving a more expanded step-by-step video on the process of removing an axle since we took it off to work on it. Thank you for watching. Since we're removing the axle shafts on both the driver and passenger side, we're also going to drain the differential fluid. All right, the goal here is to remove the entire axle. First thing I'm going to do is remove the caliper. Now I'm not going to break it apart. I'm going to take it all off at once. So I'm going to take this 18 millimeter, and if you look a little further down, that 18 millimeter, and then I'll just pull the entire caliper off. I'll use a caliper hanger, and then I'll hang it off to the side. Just pull the rotors out directly. Use a rubber mallet to tap on it if it's stuck on the emergency brakes. Pull out the red locking tab and then squeeze that rear ABS sensor and just pull directly out. We'll remove the sensor later in the video. So the best thing I did was hold on to this piece here and then pull it that way while I was pulling this out this way. It just popped right out. So if I follow this, it goes into this little clip. I'm going to pull this down and pull this out, and then you can see the other end of the little Christmas tree or the retainer on this ABS brake line, or excuse me, ABS line right here. And I'm going to push this out with a little retainer removal clip, and then I'm going to get these all out of the way. Disconnect the retaining clips and the ABS cable from the axle. So I want to show you these pliers. I get these at Harbor Freight. You know, they kind of hose pliers, but this is one of their smaller ones. And what I do, all right, so some people take, and you'll see different designs here, but some people take like a hose clamp and they'll put it on here, not too tight, but they'll put it on here enough to where it compresses this and slips through. The whole objective is compress this and let it slip through that hole. So I'm going to try to do this with one hand and hold the camera and see if it shows you what I'm doing. So I was compressing it with this grip, you know, see that kind of a circular grip to get everything compressed at the same time. And now I just need to move it forward. There. I don't know why it was taking a while. Pushed it through, and then now take that cable and pull it out. And apologize, but that was with one hand, so hopefully that made sense. So then I just took that emergency brake line and just tucked it over here for now. So I got a 3/4 on this nut right here. We're gonna move this so we can kind of move this out of the way. Look at this. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna use a socket on one side, a gear wrench on the other. Let me move my gear wrench this way. Let a helicopter fly him over. Just can't get my impact wrench in here at the moment. There. Go ahead and take that off. I like to just throw the bolt back in it with the nut. All right, I'm gonna need to remove the axle. And to be able to do that, I got to come back on this side, and you see these bolts right here. I need a breaker bar to get this started. Or for me, at least I need a breaker bar to get started. And once I do that, then I can just use any one of my, either the ratchet or a gear wrench to take these 18 off. Now don't back yourself into a corner. Once you like loosen these, you'll probably need a gear wrench because a ratchet and a nut may get impacted against this shock brace. This is number 4. You know, we took the clip off, the electrical connection off, but I still have to take the rear ABS sensor off, and that's an 8mm bolt under there. Doesn't take much. Got to take this off, and I'll show you inside. Okay, on the inside, if you see that little part of the shaft, that is the shaft coming through. And I'm going to pry just a gentle nudge to get it moving about 1/4 of an inch. You can see how I pushed it in just a little. And then I come around this side and I just see, oh, it's about just a little bit out too. So now I'm just gonna pull the rest of the way. And then I'm just positioning it here. Remove the brake shield. All you do is pull that up and out of the way. All right, I'm gonna start working on the other side before I deal with the shock base or the control arms. All right, so we're gonna take the caliper off, the two 18mm bolts. I'm gonna clear this out, the 18 and then the 3/4 on the inside, and then the 18 on the bottom. I'm gonna remove this. We're gonna push the, we're gonna get the four bolts on the main plate right here. And then we're gonna push the shaft just a little bit, gonna bump it and then pull it out. And then we'll take it from there, same as we did on that first side. Well, it's a good thing I was taking this apart anyway. Holy cow. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So on the control arm, or the upper control arm, to remove that, I have this old Terraflex lift bump stop. So I got to take this off so I can have a little easier access to remove it. And for this Terraflex, there's a bolt on the back side as well. Take the upper control arm off first, and then, and this is 21mm, and then I'm gonna leave the lower control arm as the only thing attached as I take a jack under the axle and slowly lower it. So I use a piece of wood. Now I have this lowered enough, the axle, to where this is not a lot of pressure on it. Just gotta maneuver it there. See, and then I will move it out. I changed my socket to a more shallow socket on this side just so I don't back this in my so I don't back it into that spring. This is the stabilizer bar. What do some people call it? Sway bar. This is your track bar. So sway bar helps the balance from left to right, your car leaning. Track bar keeps it centered over the rear axle. It's here. I'd already just bumped it loose just before I started the video, so it's not that easy to take off. Just make sure it's free. Real quick, you know, I'm taking this axle off for welding a truss on it, and yes, many people do not take it off, but I'm going to put the cover back on without a seal because I will be going back into it later. And right now I'm just going to bolt it up to prevent any debris, slag, anything from getting inside. So I'm lowering it just in stages. This is a home garage, so I never use a spring compressor. I lower it slowly and then remove the springs. Actually got to move that one a little bit forward. Go ahead and just got to get these off now. Got it off. Now I've got to get that axle breather tube off. Forgot about that one. There. I now have both off. Remember, I'm doing all this from a home garage. So, yep, free right there. Go to the other side. There, free right there. All right. All right, that's a wrap. Thank you for watching. Just be safe. It's heavy, it's cumbersome. Use a hoist or, you know, two-person lift. We put it on pipe stands, or if you're going to put it on a welding table, but just be careful. Also, encourage you to look at the other video on our channel, how to weld a truss on the rear axle. It gives you step by step, and the truss we used was a TMR custom truss. Thank you.